What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 9 of Chainsaw Man, and holy shit, what the fuck? We got to see a lot of crazy stuff. So it starts off, real quick recap. It starts off exactly where we got left in the last episode, where the attempted hit of everybody happened. And it starts off with Himeno when she was essentially sacrificing herself to buy Aki some time. We kind of go over that again, and then after she fades, it goes and shows that her ghost hand essentially goes over to Denji and pulls the chainsaw man cord, essentially bringing him back to life after he got shot in the head. This turns into a situation where he is more than willing to want to fight these people that did this. Him and the sword guy fight briefly. Really fucked up build up before the intro of the show. Yeah. But I'm here for it. It was great. They fight for a little bit, and then and it was awesome to just a sword dude and a chainsaw guy fighting. They're like the same pretty much in the way that they're built. It was fucking dope to just visually. Anyway, we'll get into it. So Denji attempts to take a hostage, assuming that one of the underlings that work for these two people has any value to them. The sword guy essentially is not impressed by this and lunges forward, chopping Denji and the dude he took hostage in half, just slicing him right in half. After that, they're essentially like, we got to get the hell out of here. So they are attempting to drag Denji's body out of there because they want to preserve the heart. The girl who summoned the what was it? Giant snake. Yeah. She's very adamant about making sure that they preserve the heart because that's what they came for. So they get some of their underlings to start dragging Denji's half body out of there. We go after that and see kind of showing off all the people who did get assassinated, and then we see Makima, who also got shot, or so where we think she did. But in that time, though, it shows kind of a brief moment of the people who attacked her, essentially turning around while talking about how they're going to escape, and she's just standing there, looking predetermined about what she's about to do. We don't fully get to find out what that was, but she eventually arrives at Kyoto, met with two people that were waiting for her after they had just found out that these assassinations took place. And the people on the train that attacked her all have like holes in their chest, and they're all dead. And she's covered in blood. They ask her if she got shot. She said no, and that the blood on her clothes is from those attackers. After that, she requests 30 convicts and a temple because she needs to try to do what she can from the distance that they are, her being in Kyoto and them being in Tokyo. And then during this time, the attackers over in Tokyo are dragging Denji's body out of there, and people just start crushing and getting eviscerated. Their clothes are left, but blood is everywhere. While this is happening, it's really weird how that guy was just like, something's up, like something's weird, and they're just like, shut up and move him, and he's just like, something's up, and then he just blows up. So yeah, this starts happening, and we get to see a little bit of a reveal on how fucking horrifying Makima is, in which she is seemingly sacrificing these convicts as some kind of like vessel to be able to attack people at long distance. She is just blowing people up over in Tokyo using these convicts' body. Interesting note, people during this ceremony essentially have to have blindfolds on, including the convicts, but also the two people that are with her. I don't know their names because they can't witness her like devil.
They don't have clearance,
to
know her powers,
her powers,
contracts, or whatever.
So they're just kind of chilling while she's doing this. So people are blowing up people start panicking, including the two people who are kind of running everything there. At this point, they know something's really not good, and they assume it's Makima. It has to be at this point if this crazy shit's happening. So they try to get a move on with trying to get Denji's body into the van. Makima essentially runs out, I assume, of bodies, and she essentially is just like, well, that's all I can do from here. We got to get to Tokyo. Interesting how they just kind of took a break to do that real quick, do what she can.
More time efficient for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And so, Sword Guy and Snake Summoner Chick are trying to get Denji out of there, and they look up the street, and there's Kobeni, girl who stabbed Denji, and or Aki. And from a couple episodes ago, and she's just kind of hanging out, and shows kind of a flashback of when she was about to get assassinated, and what's his name, Arai?
Yeah.
As he got shot through the throat, it seems as he was falling or moving, he got shot in the head, which would have been the bullet that would have hit her. So she ended up surviving her attempted hit, and she kind of shows up. She knows that these guys are responsible for this, and the summoner chick fucking calls in her snake to attack Kobeni, and Kobeni reveals that she's fucking crazy too. This whole episode I was like, okay, these people are all fucking nuts.
Yeah.
In which she starts running on the snake and starts doing a bunch of crazy stuff, and the guy's like, what is she, a monkey? And they're shooting at her. She ends up like jumping down, cutting the dude's hand off
With a kitchen knife.
With her fucking kitchen knife. Like, she just still has a knife with her. And she starts shooting at them. She like shoots the dude from behind, and then she uses Denji as a human shield and starts trying to fire on the people as they get into the van. They're like, okay, fuck this, we got to get out of here. And she just looks so sad while she's sitting there shooting at them, like she doesn't want to be here doing this. They run away. She has a mental breakdown where she's talking about how she doesn't even want to fucking be doing this anymore. She's going to tell Himeno, who's essentially eviscerated into the ether, that she wants to quit, while she's laughing and kind of crying at the same time about everything. And yeah, that's where we're left off in Tokyo. We go back to Kyoto, where Makima is on her way to get back to Tokyo, and she is informed by Makoto? Or is it Mokado?
I can't remember.
Something like that. I'll say Mikado. Or Mokado. I think it was Mokado. She's informed by Mokado that essentially she is now in control of... They're essentially taking all the teams, anything that's left of them, and putting them into one, and she is now in control of it, including the two people she's with will now be under her, I believe.
No, they're from Kyoto.
Oh, they're from Kyoto, yeah. So just all the teams are now Team 4, they said.
Yeah, they're just sticking around to help train.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that. And yeah, so they kind of established that. Makoto, also puts his resignation, quits, because he kind of sees it as like he can either quit or get killed, because what happened to everybody was kind of a wake-up call for him. He asks a question in which Makima tells him that now that he's a civilian, she can't tell him. So... and they leave with that, and she's on her way back to Tokyo to make sense of the mess, although she knows it was probably the gun devil.
It's also kind of implied that she had a feeling this was going to happen anyways.
Yeah, because he asks her how much she knew before it happened. So, so that's pretty much the episode in a nutshell. We find out that Makima is fucking horrifying. That she doesn't even have to be in the same city as you to kill you.
I'm pretty sure the crows are spying for her. That's what it seemed like.
Odin's crows, dude. Odin's ravens. And Kobeni's no slouch.
No.
Even though she's mentally not, she shouldn't be working for anybody. And then a quick note as well, Power is gone.
Yeah, she ran.
they're like the hybrid or whatever the fuck ran off. Fiend, yeah, because Denji's the hybrid. I'm still trying to make sense of everything that I saw. So, yeah, really crazy episode. What do we think?
Well, I mean, it was definitely a crazy episode. I honestly, the fucking imagination is wild in this show.
I love
dude. Watching, like you said, the two very similar hybrids. I'm assuming the other dude is also one. Going at it was awesome.
Yeah, he even mentions that as his abilities wearing off. It almost like puddles off of him. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
He's talking about how he's still human once that shit comes off him.
Yeah. Well, and then like, you know, I'm sure it's just like Denji, where like he's weak because he's been losing blood or whatever.
Yeah, he's all fucked up.
Yeah, he's barely moving at the end. But yeah, their fight was very cool to watch. Also, we get a nice, like you said, the moment of Denji's basically his ignorance. When he takes a chance and it doesn't pan out for him, and that's at the end of the fight for him. So, seeing all those people who had dinner together just dead now is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Minus Kobeni, she's fine, I guess. Yeah, physically.
Can't shoot her, dude. She's too quick.
No, that was mind blowing.
Even when she escaped the assassin, who I thought was an old lady, but when it showed them, I was like, oh, it's just some guy. But yeah, she got around and grabbed the gun and blew the dude's brains out.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn. And she doesn't even look determined or anything. She's just like sad.
She's depressed the whole time.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to do this. She just fucking does that.
Her voice actor is phenomenal. That freak out was like real. Yeah, Makima. When that first body exploded, that was very shocking because it just came out fucking nowhere.
That's one of my favorite things about the show so far is every time something's revealed, I don't expect it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you would, but like it's constantly full of surprises. I mean, I knew Denji would be fine, of course. Otherwise, the show doesn't continue unless they really got a crazy twist. But you know, I didn't expect the ghost hand to just go over and rev him up real quick, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, that's cool. And then when Makima starts like taking people out, I'm like, oh, that's why people are like creeped out by her, because she's like fucking powerful shit. But I wasn't expecting, you know, I saw the ravens showing up and the guy's getting weird, and I'm like, just some bad vibes, like what's going on? But it's because his body's getting ready to fucking just compress and blow up.
Yeah, which like every single body that got compressed or twisted in some cases.
Yeah, the one dude, she was like twisting his head.
Yeah, every motion she was making was just happening to them, which was gross.
Which makes me assume some of those dudes where their heads were going and she was smashing them with their hands, which is horrifying.
It's also like super creepy because in between each one, she'd like have the person she was sacrificing say the person's name that was about to die. And I'm just like, this is such a weird ritual.
No, and yeah, no emotion. She didn't give a fuck about these people.
Yeah, no, she just...
That was like just like magazines and a pistol to her. Like she was just using them. Like, all right, this one's done. This one's done.
Well, and then every time they said the name, she smiled. So like, she's obviously fucked up in that too. Yeah, and then just go, just get back to the Kobeni part where she's just running up the snake. First off, that animation, the whole show obviously is like that, but like
even Makima when she's getting dressed before her ritual.
That was so
was
extra.
Really good
crazy.
Looking. Yeah. But not surprising at this point.
Yeah.
They've been doing it the whole show so far, but just watching that, I was like, man, that cloth animation's really good. But anyway, Kobeni.
Yeah. Well, and then, her running up the snake and then chopping the dude's arm off. And then without even looking, aiming behind her, shooting the guy in the back. I was like, are you the fucking Terminator all of a sudden?
She's
like...
John Wick times 4, dude. She's fucking beyond him.
Yeah. Wild episode. I also think it's funny because I remember last episode, I remember comments. Fortunately, people have been pretty good about not like spoiling stuff for the from the mangas, and they were just like, last episode, like, this is the beginning of the show. Have fun, guys. And I was just like, what the fuck does that mean? And
this is the beginning of the show.
Like they're just saying that like in a like because of all the crazy shit that happened the last episode. They're like, okay, the show's starting now, have fun. So it was mostly like a buckle up.
Yeah.
Which this episode just was more of that. So, yeah, fucking crazy. Also, the end sequence, I recognized the voice when she was singing, and then it said Aimer. So I was like, okay. So that was a treat for me. I really like Aimer. The visuals were really good on that one too. They've all been really good visually. So, yeah, great episode.
Yeah, I agree. The end credits were really good. The song was good. The visuals were awesome. It was like a really interesting mix of like Himeno sacrifice, some visceral gore stuff. Almost looked like intestines, but then it would like turn into other things. A lot of blood, a little bit of Makima doing her crazy crushing people like a tin can shit that she does. That's almost exactly what it was. Like she just had a tin can, just smashing it. Yeah, really good end credits scene. This episode was awesome, and it was what we needed after the last episode. The last episode was just kind of like chill, relaxed, and then like, you know, in retrospect, I know what happened, but like when it happened, we're like, what the fuck's going on? Like people are just getting shot and all this stuff's happening, and then you know, everything goes off the wall. It feels like, oh shit, what's gonna happen next? And in this episode, you got Makima just murdering people, and it's like you want that to be happening. You're like, yeah, get these motherfuckers. And then the big surprise of Kobeni, like I assumed she was gonna live, but like I didn't think she's gonna show up with her fucking kitchen knife
and their walkie-talkie.
And yeah, exactly. She just kind of shows up with that, and she's like, "You guys are the bad guys," and she just like starts going nuts. Really interesting. She's a really interesting character so far. Although this is the first time I feel like Kobeni's finally being like actualized as something I even care about more than like, oh, that's the crazy chick. Now I'm like, that's the crazy chick who's also dangerous.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get that from her in the apartment building. Yeah, the fight in the beginning was awesome. I already said that, but I love the visual style of this show. I love the character designs, and then the animation by map is just fantastic. It's just like really good movie quality stuff. But seeing Denji versus the sword guy, I don't know his name, was really dope. I think that guy looks awesome. I think his design is really cool, and I think Denji's design is really cool when he's the Chainsaw Man. So that fight was just like badass to watch. It was a little too short for me, but it's fine because that wasn't the point of it. Denji tried and then made a mistake.
Also, dude's still alive, so
yeah, we'll see him again. I also like that he was, even though he is super fucking powerful, it showed that he has a similar thing to Denji where he's getting fucked up. He has a limit. Well, I guess Denji can keep going as long as he can get blood, but he's not getting blood from that guy. So, yeah, I want to know more about the girl who's summoning shit. She seems pretty chill about everything, so it makes me think she's pretty powerful. Especially with how easily she was able to just kind of summon the snake and devour shit.
Fingernail was the only sacrifice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's really interesting. And then the whole scene where they're like trying to get out there and Makima starts just like destroying people. That was like really fucking cool shit. Really enjoyed that. Finally, we get something. She's still a complete mystery, but finally we understand when you're looking at her and she looks like just a complete psychopath, sociopath. She's got those eyes that's just like vacant, and then you see this, it's like, oh, okay, like if you're that powerful, you probably view the world differently than a lot of people. So that was really interesting. I'm also curious if those two characters, like you said, are staying behind. They look a little more designed than characters that would just not be in the show later. So I'm curious if they will be gone after this, or if they will come back in some way. And then the Kobeni thing was crazy. I like how that played out. It was really interesting how she, by all rights, probably would have got shot if it wasn't for Arai falling into the the second bullet. When that happened, I audibly was like, oh, it's interesting. Like that's how it happened, which gave Kobeni a second to recognize that there was a threat and, blow the brains out, which is fucking crazy. And then, yeah, very surprising, unexpected, but satisfying the way she attacked two people that, the one dude's weakened at this point, but she was pretty proficient in her attack on them. They weren't expecting that. No one was. But that was very satisfying, even though I think it's really kind of crazy that she was just using Denji's body to absorb the bullets while she sat there and sadly shot at them. Like the whole time I was watching, she was just like just kind of frowning while aiming at them. And I'm just like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, overall, really good episode. This show just gets better and better. I last like 3 episodes, I keep going like, I love this show. I love this show. This might be one of my favorite anime. And like, I haven't even finished the season yet, but so far, 9 episodes in, I really like everything about this show. And it just gets better and better, even though we have sacrificed characters now, which does suck. It adds weight to the show, which I need to really get into something. I can watch like a shonen style anime and have fun with it for sure. And even then, like if you, I'm not going to talk about spoilers for Demon Slayer, but there's still, there's loss that can happen there, but it's like a big event. Whereas, in this was a pretty massive situation that happened where people were lost and potentially maybe they come back. I don't know. And that resonates with me. Just like I've talked about a million times, but like Berserk is like my favorite anime, and that show, spoiler alert, is not afraid to sacrifice characters. And so, yeah, this kind of situations resonate with me a lot, and this is doing similar things. So really appreciate that. And then, yeah, it's just really good. This episode's really good, and the animation is top notch. We say that every episode, but I feel like I need to say it every episode because it's worth mentioning. There's always something new, something unexpected that just kind of really shows me what Mappa is capable of. Outside of this show, just seeing what they're doing with it, I'm curious to see what they can do with other things. You were saying before that there's a rumor that they might have the rights to One Punch Man Season 3. Mm-hmm. Whether that's real or not, we'll see. But if they do, that'd be pretty crazy considering... I watched the first season of One Punch Man. I never watched the second season. And it sounded like the second season was kind of underwhelming in the animation department. And so bringing in Mappa to do this, I think would be course correction. Complete overhaul of fixing that issue. So anyway, long story short, I am really impressed with what Mappa is doing with this show. It's really, really good shit. So... yeah, can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. We are in a situation where the event is over. We get to kind of regroup, rebuild, figure out what's going to happen, and then we have 3 episodes left, you said, yep. That they got to do something to end this season and get us excited for the next one, hopefully.
Whenever the fuck that happens.
I hope it's like a top priority for them, especially with how well this show is being received. But we'll see. But I'm not ready for it to end. Been really enjoying it. And if it takes too long, maybe I will take up the manga. But I really love what Mappa is doing with the show. So it's definitely a treat watching their animation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bummed we only got a few weeks left, but it happens every season for every anime. But this season has had some pretty large titles, and I like every week I'm just waiting for Monday, I'm waiting for Tuesday, I'm waiting for Wednesday. Like it's crazy. So and then with Mappa's future, at least I know they picked up a project called I think it's called Hell's Paradise or something like that.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool. I'll probably check that out when it airs. And then One Punch Man, if that's for real, whew, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch season 2 then because
You get to suffer through JC Staff's version.
I mean I liked the first season, so if the story is there,
It is.
I can look past, you know, whatever the shortcomings are with the studio's animation.
I mean, the big difference is like Madhouse did the first season. They actually animate stuff. JC Staff is famous for a still image and a background that pans. So,
That's pretty old school.
yeah. So,
Interesting.
but yeah. Probably gonna go download the end song though, because I really like that artist. So
Yeah, I don't know anything about the artist, but the song was good. I liked that. So
you've probably heard her before. She does a lot of anime opening and endings.
probably.
She might have done one of the. I could be wrong. I thought she did one of the Demon Slayer ones as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you guys think of episode 9 of Chainsaw Man. Are you like it? Are you liking where the show's going? Are you not liking where the show's going? What did you think of what happened in this episode? And yeah, tell me your general thoughts. No spoilers, please. We've only seen the show and not seen the manga. So if you're a manga reader and you're like, oh, this thing's gonna happen, blah blah blah, just
Please don't.
don't spoil it for us, please. But yeah, I've been Seth. This has been Chevy. And until the next episode, we'll talk to you guys later.